This is Michael Tackett here with a new video, a new segment actually. I'm going to call Setting the Record Straight. Because so many times you see stories on the internet, and I've been guilty of it too. We all sit there and go, well, it's probably true, it's from my favorite site and everything. It's not always true. Yes, I know I'm going to use the internet to debunk this, but just because you see something on the internet or on the news doesn't mean it's always factual. That's actually a fact. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first up is from Snopes, which they do an article talking about Barack Obama and his tour to Japan, and the media and other people who actually believe this was an apology tour. While President Obama offered his sympathies during a visit to Hiroshima, he did not apologize for the United States' 1945 actions. Snopes rates this false. Collected via email May 2016, did President Obama apologize for dropping the atomic bomb? Origin. On May 27, 2016, Barack Obama became the first sitting president to visit Hiroshima, Japan since the end of the World War II, which some media outlets painted the historic visit as another stop on Obama's apology tour. The president actually didn't apologize. Still, social media users were outraged at the president's supposed apology. So, was it true? No, it really wasn't. Did Obama apologize for something? Yes, he did, but what he apologized for was the death of a Japanese woman who reportedly had been murdered by a former U.S. Marine. And Obama did offer his deepest condolences, saying that he's sorry for all the loss of Hiroshima. Well, you know what I mean. He sent his deepest condolences to people who lost anyone in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But he never apologized for the act itself, which, quite honestly, I think America needs to apologize for that heinous act of genocide, to be honest with you. But he never apologized for it. He offered condolences. There is a big difference. Get it right, people. Next up is PolitiFact and Hilary Clinton, who said that her email practices were allowed. Hilary Clinton from PolitiFact, Hilary Clinton is sticking to her defense that her use of a private email server while Secretary of State was allowed, despite a critical independent audit that found it really wasn't. So, PolitiFact, what did they rate this claim that Hillary Clinton said, oh, well, my email server, I was allowed to do what I wanted to, it was allowed. Regarding her decision to use a private email server, Clinton said it was allowed. No one ever stopped Clinton from conducting work over her private email server exclusively, but that's not the same thing as it being allowed. Officers within the State Department told an independent inspector general that if she had asked, they would have not allowed it. The report from the State Department Office of Inspector General shatters one of Clinton's go-to phrases about her email practices. We rate this claim as false. Next up is Snopes again. Next up, about Bernie Sanders and his ridiculous demands on a private flight, which we'll see if it's right or false or true. Field of Blackened Cod. A menu from Bernie Sanders' charter flight is real, but the selections are standard fare for Delta charters and not an example of hypocritical access, so they rated this mostly false. What was true? A widely circulated photograph from a menu from a flight chartered by Bernie Sanders' campaign was authentic and unaltered. What's false? The menu was not any different from Delta commercial and charter flight offerings. In the spring of 2016, Sanders didn't fly on a private jet. Photos of the proposed private jet did not depict part of the Delta fleet. Sanders selected the available chart menu offerings and didn't demand lobster or corn-fed chicken. Delta, not the charter customers, is responsible for available menu choices on chartered flights, so it's mostly false. And finally, from PolitiFact, Donald Trump tried to brag that, well, I didn't brag about, I wanted to keep helping the veterans private, but because I don't think it's anybody's business if I wanted to send the money to the vets, but I had to do this, because he was saying that he had to do that when he was talking to the press, and, they kept asking him questions, but here's the thing, is this actually true or not? Let's go PolitiFact, and Trump said if I wanted to keep it private because I didn't think anybody's business, if I wanted to send money to the vets. Donald, the fact that you're talking about it during the press conference, keep the comb over up here, big buddy. You got to keep something in that head of yours, keep the brain from crawling out. And yeah, I think you know where this is going. Trump certainly didn't keep quiet about his intentions to raise money for veterans' causes when he was setting up the event in Iowa in January. To the contrary, he talked about it in media availabilities and tweeted about it on more than one occasion. His statement is ridiculous, so it's pants on fire. So Donald Trump, you lied. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's 4 examples of how just because you see something on the internet doesn't mean that you should believe it.